here's the tale of a Legbeard queen. There's so much I could say about this legendary beast, so many stories to tell you about her that I simply cannot put it into a single post. No, my friends, this monster of a human has done so much to me in my life, and still continues to speak badly of me. I cannot exactly explain everything that happened, for there is simply too much, so why don't I just give you the rundown of her and just of what happened? At least for now. Now, this is a short list, taking place in the span of 1 year, listing everything she has done to me in the 8 years I have known her would break the internet, and that would not be fun. And just before we begin, I was a 150 and most female, long blonde hair and shy. I was not strong at all and had no idea what I was doing with my life. Came from a poor family, and it showed. I raised 4 kids, not mine, and missed a lot of school because of it. When she had a problem, she turned to me. She never dealt with anything on her own, and if I didn't handle it right then and there, she came in the next day covered in poorly painted bruises, had clearly rolled in the mud, and I claimed I must have wanted to see her be beaten. She would then nag me about it until I did what she wanted me to do. When she wanted something from McDonald's, I had to pay, or she would take my food from my tray and say I was lucky she let me have the fries I paid for. But Lord help me if I took my drink. When I would not give her something she wanted, be a drawing of mine or even a sketchbook, she told the school I was a slut and I was drawing inappropriate things in my sketchbook. The teachers would go through my sketchbook and had told my mother what they had been hearing. Thankfully, Mom never believed it. When I had finally invited her to stay at home, she slept in bed, insulted my mother, and hit on my stepfather. Never made that mistake again. She stunk of old skunk and bad Mountain Dew. I never did get that stink out of my room. When I accomplished something good in my life, she tore me down and said I was an idiot. When I finally had the courage to tell her we were not friends anymore, she said, "Love has blinded you," and dramatically ran off in tears. My boyfriend David was with me and was there for support. I was in the office every other day, not kidding, because she had told the counselor a lie about me, and they had to call me into the office just to be safe. She said I threatened to kill her with a gun 4 times. She said I threatened to bring a bomb to school 5 times. That I was pregnant and did not know the father, knowing I was a virgin. She claimed that I was in a cult and was going to take her into the woods where no one could hear her scream and torture her until she died of starvation. Cops were called in on that one. Then when our friends stopped believing her, her stories got more desperate and more insane. Any man I was near, apparently I was trying to fuck, and would have sex with an animal. This almost got me arrested, but there was no evidence of this. When I got my job working on a horse farm, horses are my passion, she insulted me and harassed my boss until I was fired. I'm still torn up about that one. She had an unhealthy obsession with anima, the supernatural, swords of any kind, Vikings, and, I shit you not, wolves. She claimed that she was a wolfkin when she heard he was popular. Nothing to do with me, but she was weird about it. I'm talking wolf everything for a while, even said she could turn into a wolf. She finally stopped when even less people would talk to her. She knew I was being molested by a family friend at the time and told me I should not complain. At least someone showed that they wanted a nasty little thing like me, then blurred out to everyone in earshot. I was screwing a married man and told everyone in school I would do any guy for a bag of Skittles. When I refused to let her sit next to me in lunch, she threw herself on the floor and faked having a serious mental and health illness. Blackouts, uncontrollable muscle twitching, even once faking a stroke. Beat herself up, then blamed it on me. cops were called again. And that's just some of the things that happen. If I can, I may try to do a series of this and explain it in full what happened, but as I said, this is a lot and I do not have the time. I used to study to be a vet. I quit after 1 year though. There was a girl, I'll call her H, in my classes that I saw quite often, and here's some creepy things I saw her do or heard about. She's specializing in farm animals and so often had classes in the school's farm with cows. I was required to take a few classes too, even though I was not that interested. If anyone has ever been to a farm, you know that it smells awful and the smell gets stuck to your clothes and hair. So usually people would have a change of clothes or farm clothes they'd wear to these classes and nowhere else. Also, a lot of us took showers after the class as it was 5 a.m. and you have to go to actual classes afterwards. H never did that. She always smelled awful. Her hair was always so greasy. It was uncomfortable to be in the same class as her because you could always smell her. Most of us were used to the farm smell, so it didn't bother anyone, and even with a change of clothes and showers, you'd smell, but her smell was on another level. I don't think she showered at all, ever. H had a crush on a guy in a different field, but still in the same school. Let's call him Al. A girl in my class knew Al. She's Psy for the story. H got so obsessed with Al that she'd tell everyone that they were dating and she'd describe in detail about their dates. I did not know Al, so I thought that she actually got a boyfriend at first. I started being friends with Psy and she told me that it's all fake. At first I felt like Al was just ashamed of dating H because she's not that pretty. Why? Well, because H's stories were always so detailed, and she had a lot of pictures of Al that were not on his social media. I mentioned this to Psy, and she was confused as well, so we went to find Al. When we told this to Al, he was horrified. He did not know H had been taking his photos without him knowing. H knew where he lived, and he was super creeped out by all these stories. He didn't even want to go to the police to avoid drama, but things got worse. H would start telling stories about their sex life and had very specific weird details about him that no one else knew, but turned out to be true. She also posted her relationship status on Facebook to be engaged with Al. Al was getting more anxious and scared, so he went to the police. Psy and I were with him through all of this. The police talked to H, and she soon stopped talking about Al. On the bright side, I got closer with Psy and Al, though we're not friends anymore. We were having a huge event in the school where children come and see the animals. The school had a lot of exotic pets, so it was good to have students be experienced with difficult pets. The school had brought this huge bag of candy. I think it was like 12 kilograms. It was to be put in bowls so the kids would take a few. The bag was kept in the office floor because it was quite heavy. One day the bag was gone. Stolen. No one knew who took it. Well, it was found in H's locker. The school didn't do anything about her literally stealing candy that the students had paid for, meant for children. They just took it back and stayed quiet. At the end of the school year, H got a new crush. He, L, was put in the same class as H and I. He was gay and very, very open about it. H told everyone that he wasn't actually gay and just using it to cover the relationship. H said that L was actually homophobic and could not be gay. H started telling her weird, detailed stories again. This time no one believed her. I mean, she did this once already and L was very clearly gay, but H did not stop. She tried to edit photos with L to prove she was not lying, but they were so badly done. I one time caught L crying outside and asked what's wrong. He went on a rant about how H had been bothering him and how he was literally scared and could not even stay in the dorm anymore because of H. I told him he should just go to the police or school officials. He was not sure if he actually should. I had to go to class, so I just gave him my Snapchat if he needed my help, and later on gave him Al's number because Al had gone through the same thing. I soon quit school for multiple reasons and never asked how all this ended.